Baba, you know, every living thing has a tendency to preserve their life no matter how difficult it is. It's pretty amazing. Life can be so incredibly difficult for all living creatures, but in humans too. Yet they continue to want to be. That love of being is so strong that it makes you go through sometimes unsurmountable difficulties. What is that love of being?
A secure existence. That's what every creature, every life species would like to have. That is one of the basic reason whenever that secure existence is threatened, one goes into a conflict. Otherwise, they can live peacefully all the time. If that secure existence is not threatened, is one of the basic reason they want to be. But that is why in spirituality, the advice is you want to be all the time as a being permanently. But we all know that the physical body is impermanent, the universe is impermanent. Today, this body is alive, tomorrow, it may not be. We have seen our loved ones going away, passing away from this world, and so many people known to us passing away. But then one day we will also have to give up the bodies. But then what will happen to us? If that can be discovered properly, that we are eternal existence, much beyond the birth and death of the physical body, then one can live so securely in peace at all times, and there will not be any conflict for anything. Even you see, suppose somebody criticizes you or any person, when that person feels threatened about one's status or any such thing, existence itself, then they go into a conflict. How dare you talk nonsense about me? How dare you criticize me? Like that, they go into conflict. But if you know that very well, they don't even know what you are, and you know that very well, you will laugh at them. Just like Ashtavakra did. When he entered the court of King Janaka, all the ministers there sitting, they laughed at Ashtavakra because he had 8 deformations in the body and he had to be rolling down. He couldn't even walk properly. So then Ashtavakra says, "O king, I thought you have some intelligent ministers in your court, but what I can see is all are foolish." And everybody is scared. How dare this boy talk like this? Now the king will be annoyed. But the king was mature by then. He wants to know, why do you want to tell that these people are foolish? Say, "Oh, your majesty, these people were trying to make fun of me. They were trying to make fun of me, thinking this body to be me, whereas I am not this body. And they don't even know and they cannot see me in their naked eyes. What I am, how I exist. So, what fun that they can do. They are simply making fun of this body. That's why I told that they are thinking that they are making fun of me, but they are actually making fun of this body. That's why I thought they are simply foolish people." So, like this, existence, if it is not threatened, if you know yourself very well, the being, then hardly anybody can disturb you. No power, nothing, no incident, nothing can disturb you. Even if the body is going to go away, our own body, you will not be disturbed. So, that's so important for all living species existence.
So, Baba, it's because of our wrong identity then? We identify ourselves, our beingness, as being a body and needing all these things in the world, a home and finances and friends and security. Is
Yeah,
that
it is the conflict is, and the distress that happens is misidentity about ourselves. If we don't know who I am, so if I am identifying myself with the body, and if anything is suppose going to happen to the body, if we feel threatened, then we feel stressed out, we feel that fear, anxiety are go into conflict, we lose temper, all these things do happen. So if only we know ourselves, so we don't have to undergo all these in our consciousness. That is important. If we have the ignorance about ourselves, then we go into conflict in so many ways. We feel threatened. Somebody might rob us of our money. Somebody might rob us of our property. Somebody might harm our physical body. Somebody might do this, do that. They criticize, they look down at us, they belittle us. All these type of problems arise stressfully. Then we go into conflict. If only we know what we are, all of us. So then, say you are the owner of a company, and somebody comes and criticizes the watchman of the company. So you are hardly affected because you know that you are the owner, you are not that watchman, gatekeeper. So, like that. So once you know who you are, you will be totally secure. The secure existence is what is needed for all living species so that they don't want to die, they don't want to become extinct.
the idea of ourselves being, a person is so difficult to overcome, because we haven't put our attention on the consciousness that's watching. And I guess essentially that's what the meditation is learning to pay attention to yourself. And
Yeah,
then the peace and the security comes because you realize that you're above and beyond all this temporary, changing, bound, impermanent.
definitely. You see, since time immemorial, this habit has happened that the consciousness has shifted and sat on the physical body and into this world. Now, once we realize it is wrong thing, we need to change and shift back that consciousness back into our real self. For that purpose only, the meditation is one of the highest and strongest blanket remedy for this. So, in this first step, thought is that one, try to keep the physical body steady, unmoved, that's important, and then gently keeping the eyes closed, just watch. Thus, through watching, you will be able to get rid of all thoughts and visions that are absorbed in the mind, which are known as the acquired habits of the mind or the tendencies that form due to those acquired habits. We need to overcome all these things which were simply absorbed due to imagination. When we saw the world, when the brain reflected, we thought we imagined, oh, this is a wrong thing, and we absorbed that as an imprint. We thought this is the correct thing, and we absorbed it as an imprint. So these things are sitting as habits in the mind. And that is the basic reason that we have forgotten what we are, how we exist. So this is what is needed. So first, to get rid of the imagination, then you will automatically know because that will be revealed that is there. Just like if the projected cinema is withdrawn, then you will be able to see the screen is there safe. Nothing is happening to the screen. In the movie, there might be a lot of violence, one trying to kill the other, shooting down, bomb exploding, all those things. But the screen remains unaffected all the time. Nothing happens to the screen. Once you stop the projector, you will get to see the screen eternal and unaffected. symbolizing the soul, what I am talking here, symbolizing the real self that is unaffected. See, mind is the screen for all the imaginations that are happening in everybody's mind. But people recognize the mind only based on thoughts and visions that are in the mind. But they don't know what the mind is because they are used to seeing through naked eyes, through five sensory organs. Either they should be able to smell something, or they should be able to hear something, or they should be able to touch. But the infinite mind is beyond all these things. You cannot touch, you cannot smell, you cannot see it, you cannot hear anything. So that is the important thing. But you can experience through the mind only. But when the mind becomes quiet, you will be able to experience that being in the self. Then you are reassured. You are totally eternal. You are always there immortally.
So what?
You are not a mortal being anymore, you will realize.
So our self is not what changes. It's what changes is our mind, intellect, body, the world, but not ourselves.
Yes. The things that are in the mind changes, but the mind itself doesn't change. Simply it visualizes, it projects in itself. So that changes. The movie on the screen keeps changing, but the screen will remain the same.
So what's so Baba, refresh me on that distinction between consciousness and mind.
When the consciousness is into imaginations, and when there are thoughts and visions in the consciousness, so then that consciousness comes to be known as mind. We call it as mind. When all the thoughts and visions disappear, dissolve through practice of meditation, then in that silence, what remains is the consciousness.
Okay, so mind in that case is basically consciousness with thoughts in it. They're not. It's not the thoughts that are the mind.
Yes,
It's
yes, yeah.
consciousness with thoughts in it is called mind. And when you take
Thoughts
the
are in
thoughts
the
out,
mind. Thoughts are in the mind.
right, right, and then when you take the thoughts out and there's no thoughts, you call that consciousness, but they're really the same thing.
Exactly.
So in uh, Savikalpa Samadhi, you've removed the thoughts, all the thoughts except the thought of I am. All other thoughts have been removed, so you're just universal consciousness at that point. And then when you finally can remove even that sense of I am, when that goes back in the ocean, then you are just the Parabrahman, you're pure awareness.
Yeah. You see, now the mind has got rid of all thoughts and visions, but is focused on one thought of I. At that stage, it doesn't know what the I is, and it has not yet merged with the I. It is standing only with the imagination of an I. So once that is abandoned, you give up that, then Nirvikalpa Samadhi comes and the mind disappears there. Means mind is not anymore the mind, it is pure consciousness, it is the self. Then the self is revealed.
So then mind could be that, a word for that kind of I am consciousness, it's been beingness has been used for that. I am consciousness, but you could just as easily just say mind.
It is the same thing,
Yeah.
simply in different forms it is there.
Right.
Now also I keep telling many times, some people have become confused and written to me on WhatsApp or on the mail. I tell you, you will realize when you meditate that the mind is nothing but you, yourself. You are imagining. You stop imagining, you will realize yourself. It can be as simple as it is. If only you understand the technique and get rid of the imaginations.
Yeah, actually, you at first, I guess you realize yourself as that I, and then eventually, when that goes away, you just become universal existence.
Yes,
That's all that
because
ever existed.
many people are confused to meditate silently. They want to have some anchor because they are used to, and yet they cannot see themselves in the naked eyes. Whatever they can sense through the five sensory organs, they want to have something. Or that one is one mantra is given, or one thought is given, that I is given. Things like the mantras, like ancient mantras of Indian teachers have given. Koham, Koham means who am I?
Hmm.
Soham, I am that. But there also Soham mantra is given, and you chant this mantra, concentrate on it or on the breath. But it is not told you what is that Soham. Soham means I am that. You are that. That is that much is tell. But what is that? Where is it? Nobody knows until you experience yourself. Until you don't give up that koham, soham, both, everything you have to give up. Then it is there. When you are totally silent, then it is you, the consciousness of existence. That's why I found out in between all these soham, koham, anything, any nothing, there is one consciousness of existence. If you can directly catch hold of that and focus on that, from where it is coming, that is the silent meditation. Your mind will get absorbed into that, it will become one with it. Then the pure supreme consciousness can be experienced. That is what is known as self realization. But it takes so much of time, it just one step is needed, but that itself takes so much of time for people to jump. They'll be wondering, where is it? What is it? All sorts of questions coming. Why is this happening? Why not that? What will happen if I chant this? What will happen if I don't chant this? And one gets stuck into this inquiring all these things. Even after the master we try to guide them, people keep confusing again and again. They come back with another question. Then we tell ki this is it. If only one can understand, what they need to do is they need to become silent.
Yeah, the mind keeps wanting to
Technique
come
I
up.
am giving. Technique I am giving. Just watch.
So, Baba, that just watch is observing. The technique is basically observing without any analyzing, no accepting,
Yeah.
no rejecting, no definitions, just pure blank watching.
No yes or no no.
Okay.
Be quiet.
So Baba, in a quick summary, what would be a good definition of the self as you speak of it, the big self or the real self?
Nearest clue to imagine, to define, we can tell it is the combination of supreme consciousness and supreme energy. Shiva Shakti. Ancient teachers also tried to tell that, but people have made another concept of Shiva and Shakti as the forms. They tried to tell that supreme ultimate truth is combination of supreme consciousness and supreme energy.
So, what is the subtle body, Baba? That's spoken about. What's the subtle
Subtle
body?
body, it is in your imagination, in your consciousness, but doesn't really exist. That is the simple way to understand in today's terminologies, in my experience. Books might have written anything about so many things. Sukshama Sharira, subtle body. Sukshma means subtle, infinite. Infinite, what is infinite? Which cannot be seen in naked eyes. That means it is only in your imagination. I am a yogi. is a subtle body actually. It's so because it is simply an imagination.
I see, as opposed to a physical body, which is
Yes,
it's a physical thing, but also an imagination. But a subtle body is something that exists only in the mind.
yes.
Okay, so
To
when you
tell
die, when the
only
body,
means in other sentence also, in the mind means it exists only in your imagination. In other words,
right? Okay, so when you have a physical body in a brain, you have um, the mind is present. Uh, don't know exactly what happens to the mind when the brain and the body die. So what happens to that subtle body then? That imagination.
it is all carried by the consciousness which is in the form of mind. As long as these imaginations are there, it is now in the form of mind. The mind gets detached from the brain when the brain dies, when the body dies, when the brain stops functioning. So then, but mind is carrying in symptoms in its imagination. Based on its imagination, it spins and creates another world, another physical body for itself. It is reborn again. That's what happens. Again and again, one is born, and again, dies.
So Baba, is that the mind without a body? Is that what's called a soul or a spirit or?
So many terms have been used, but generally, I have told without a body, the mind doesn't remain even for a moment or a second or a minute, any such things. It instantly assumes next world and next body. It's born in illusion. It gets to see so many time limits and all such things. But that all happens just like that.
And that could be that other body or the new manifestation could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. It could be
Not
Earth. It
necessarily.
could.
It can be anywhere or there itself, but with a totally a different scenario. Just like in a drama, one scene finishes and some music is given, they switch off the light and they try to bring in another scene there on the stage, and it's altogether totally different scene. One time you were in Washington in one scene, the next scene when comes in the movie, you are in Portland. So like that, or you are in India, anywhere else, or you are on the moon. It can be anything, anywhere.
So is a lot of your own imagination could determine the world you're in, or
Yeah, you churn and it happens like that. In imagination, anything can happen.
so if you've been pursuing, trying to obtain self-realization, trying to rise above the illusions and the temporary and usually the suffering that goes along with it, uh, will that just pick up where you left off, kind of thing, or can you have to start over? Or?
If the involvement is there mentally into this world, the same type of world might get created and that continues. The tendencies all continues. That is the reason spiritual exercises, what we call it as satsanga, is taught so that in your mind you can get rid of all imaginations. Take care that your mind can remain unaffected by the surroundings of this universe also. Then only you can get rid of being reborn. Otherwise, whatever you carry in your mind, you are affected in a good or a bad way, then that makes you to reborn again. You will get to see the scene again. Drishya is the word that is used. Means you will get to see the scene again. You become the seer and the scene appears to you. and you start thinking you are born, you are growing, you are young, you are old, all these things keep happening.
Back in the movies.
Exactly.
So, Baba, most people want happiness and security above all else. And you've said repeatedly the supreme goal of life is supreme peace, the highest goal of life.
Exactly. You see, not simply most of the people, all species, all creatures are looking for happiness, knowingly or unknowingly. They want that one. That's when they try to do that. Whether they go to a cinema, they go to a mall, they go to a temple, they go to a place of worship, they go to a guru, they go anywhere else, they want to find a companion, they want some happiness. If they feel loneliness, they want a companion, they want to find it. It's just for happiness. That's what they are looking for. But only thing, if the path is not right, so that happiness can remain elusive all the time until you don't know where to find, how to find.
It seems, Baba, that the preservation uh, of our existence, even trumps happiness, except that we want to preserve it because hopefully someday we could have happiness again. But uh,
Exactly.
peace seems to be, like you said, supreme peace or bliss is beyond peace, or I mean, beyond happiness. That I guess the thing is, you never really can have secure happiness in this world because everything, including your body,
Bodies.
is temporary. Okay. Well, thank you, Baba. You ready to take some questions? If anybody has any
Okay.
questions? Okay.
Hi, Baba. I'm
Hi,
not.
Alex.
Yeah, there we go. Um, it's when Swamiji went into his tapas, he sat for many hours a day, almost the whole day, and he did that for a long time, for 12 years. I'm wondering, um, why does it take so long to observe your thoughts until you get to the place where you're just pure consciousness?
Not that it took so long just to reach the consciousness. He was asked by the Guru, appearance of the Jangama, said, who came and initiated him into tapas, asked him to do it for 12 years. The reason was not told. Swamiji simply went on doing.
So um, I'm assuming that we have thousands and thousands of thoughts every day. If you sit and you watch, then the next day you have a few less if you're doing the meditation correctly, and then the next day a few less, and then the next day a few less. Is it just about thoughts, or is it also about understanding and realization?
You see, it's a practice. See, the thoughts are dissolving, you are watching. Thoughts are dissolving and you are watching. You go on practicing. So, even when you achieve a total silence of the mind, then you continue watching so that you practice that effect. Like that is why Swamiji said, if you remember, I have told, of 1 hour when you can make the mind quiet and just watching, that is the real meditation. You can tell I was meditating. Till then, you are trying to meditate. And like that, when you are able to keep the mind quiet and focused, just watching for 8 to 10 hours or more, then the real tapas starts. So after that, you for some time you keep holding on like that so that you practice, so that there is no return ever again. No more thoughts are observed. No thoughts or visions must disturb. Like I tell, like our mind, our consciousness is, you write on a white paper, it instantly gets erased. Like that, what happens? So it's just a practice.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Babaji. Okay.
I just wondered if you could elaborate a little bit on when I asked you yesterday about whether or not yogis still have dreams, because you're not really having thoughts throughout the day. I was a little bit surprised, and when you said that, yes, a yogi can still have dreams. So I was just kind of thinking that what's the difference between dreams and just regular everyday thoughts? Why does one still occur when the other doesn't have to?
You see, the thoughts that are in the mind are the habits of the mind. Through sadhana or tapas, say, for example, one has overcome those effects that are in the mind. That means consciousness. So, that consciousness, which was mind and individual self hitherto, now has settled down into the self once for all.
Okay.
That doesn't get disturbed. But the body is alive. As long as the body is there, this world appearance also is there. But watching this world also, the consciousness remains unaffected. The self remains unaffected. It is just watching. The same way, because the brain is still there, it will produce either out of its own memories or somewhere something it produces a dream. So that a dream, in the consciousness has to watch, is forced to watch because it is there. But it will remain unaffected. It will not take any imprints or any such things. That's what is important.
Okay. So basically a dream is not voluntary, but a thought kind of is voluntary. Right?
Yes, that is
We have
in
to
you.
have dreams.
You see,
Sorry.
the thought is within you and you have registered it as a truth. That's why it is there troubling you. Whereas the dream is there for you to watch and you don't register it as a reality. You are totally aware of what it is.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up, Baba.
Baba, for years and years, I've lived with the idea of karma, and it's given me a groundwork to assume, okay, it's all bad karma. But now I'm realizing that that's in my imagination as well. The thought of karma, there's really no opposite, no good or bad. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. Don't keep anything in the mind. There is nothing for you. That's why practice meditation for this only, so that you can get rid both good and bad in your mind. It becomes peaceful and steady. Then
So,
it merges in the self.
okay, all right. I'm getting rid of it.
Good. You're coming to good questions now. Very good questions. Appreciate.
Pranams, Babaji. Thank you so much.
Uh,
I have two questions. The first question is, I really enjoy meditation and I, try to do it every day and, have some really nice experiences. But at the same time, I have a busy job, quite active, and I also have interests in life, like I like to research maybe different things or even have a little bit of leisure and watch, some TV here and there. So my question is, can you still go side by side like that? And it does eventually, because sometimes I notice having this kind of activity, you do kind of still maybe get some impressions here and there. It's not as strong, but you can still have some registrations. As meditation becomes stronger and stronger, does that sort of just overcome all the activity and you don't have any impressions register despite your interest or activity in the world?
exactly. So, side by side, you go on meditating also. It's like let the race go on. This side, they are all going on, the worldly things and the interest, whatever you want to do. Then this race is also going on. At one time, this race of meditation will overtake all other things. So, no more impressions, no more imprints will be absorbed. Then, afterwards, if you live in this world, still you remain active, then the benefit is that the mind will not absorb anything as a reality. It is totally aware that what I am doing is not a reality. That awareness is what will save you from getting involved.
Okay. That makes sense. And then one other question is you were talking earlier about how self-realization is just this one step, but it's so hard to get to make that one step. And it seems like it has to do with that I thought where you just want to, it seems like we're so used to thinking of ourselves as an I. So can you talk a little bit about the I thought and how to let go of that?
Since time immemorial, so many lives would have passed, so many times. A birth would have happened, a death would have happened, birth and death cycles would have happened in so many other species, and the consciousness is likely to have absorbed imprints. So they are all sitting as habits, tendencies that keep happening. So that is the reason. So it delays. So we are more bothered to consider things of this world into a seriousness in our mind. We take it seriously. Then that delays. Once you understand the technique, simply we have to give up in the mind. You deal with the world any way that you want, no problem. But simply give up from the mind. Don't take anything seriously. Then you will remain unaffected. Then that one step happen automatically. The day that you are able to do it, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Babaji, you spoke that because of the mind, lifetime and lifetimes occur instantaneously, like different stages. Swamiji came back over and over with no mind. What is the choice that Swamiji made to come back here physically over and over?
You see, he became a yogi, thus he got rid of any imagination. But by the ordainment of the divine, the ultimate truth, it just took with one thought that he wanted to be reborn for the welfare of the universe. Thus he came back. Sometimes he again did tapas, sometimes from childhood itself he was realized. So he remained unaffected by the world, but simply for with that one thought, just to help the world, for the welfare of the world, he came back with one thought. But that thought did not make him lose his self realization. He remained as a yogi all the time. That's a very highly skilled things to perform. The one must not try if possible. Only ordained by the divine who has a mission in this world, they come back to do such work and they will remain unaffected. Thus Swamiji also did it.
Thank
Baba, there's a couple questions in the chat. Can we take those now?
Okay? Yeah.
Okay, first one. I was holding my Ami's hand when she took her last breath. I felt an energy leave her body through her hand, then up my arm and through the top of my head. I have long thought it was her soul or spirit leaving. It was peaceful setting. It seemed like her, I think, final gift to me to experience her serene departure. What did I experience?
If you had experienced the peace within, the serenity, so that is the experience, that is the real experience. So you are blessed, that's fine.
Next question, Baba, is what is Siddhi and Samadhi in English terminology?
Siddhi.
Siddhi.
Yeah. Siddhi is generally terms like occult power type of things have been used. Means In your mind, when you resolve a certain thing to happen, so they might happen for a while because of your tapas. Siddhis come. But siddhis are totally prohibited when you are going for self realization. It must not be shown to people of this world. Means one will is likely to become egoistic that I have this power, and you will get carried away to the world and you lose the vital self realization. So that is siddhi. And other one is sadhana.
Samadhi.
Samadhi is the result of the sadhana, meditation. Through practice of meditation, when you get rid of all thoughts and visions that are in the mind, once for all in every way, then that mind gets absorbed into the self. When it gets absorbed into the self, that is in samadhi, means totally in itself. It has no imprints, no thoughts, no visions. It is in total silence. That is what is known as samadhi.
Okay, Baba, there's another question, third question. Is marriage necessary for a seeker who wishes to go into tapas?
It's one's own choice. You marry or you don't marry, but you have to meditate. You have to take out time. In meditation, you must not visualize anything. You must practice to become silent in the mind. That is what is important.
Okay, another question came in, Baba. What are two other things you'd like us to do during the day, such as reading sacred scriptures or service work? Can you be specific? Also, do you have any hopes for humanity? That's the second question.
Certainly, you say any other two things. If you want to read a book, I would recommend Ashtavakra Samhita's commentary I have written, and I have written commentary on Viveka Chudamani. Commentary means whatever was written by the teachings of Adi Shankara in Viveka Chudamani, I have simplified and used the present day terminology, tried to make people understand what it means in a simpler language. So that books are recommended. Viveka Chudamani, a commentary by Shiva Rudra Balayogi, Ashtavakra Samhita, a commentary by Shiva Rudra Balayogi. These couple of books, slowly read them. Yoga Vasista also you read. Yoga Vasista Ramayana is available in English, a book published by Divine Life Society, written by Swami Venkateshananda, translated in English. This is a yoga upadesha of Vasista to Lord Sri Rama.
Okay, Baba, thank you. Baba, regarding service, she asked about service, doing service work. Can service work be helpful? And I think there's probably a distinction between service work and karma yoga. Could you distinguish those?
See, service work means you serve selflessly, means without any expectation. Don't consider it even as a charity, just as a duty, without acquiring any habits in the mind. You just do it. Then a karma yoga can happen. Karma yoga widely is in any way that you are active in this world. If you don't absorb the need of any anxiety for the results, you simply accept the results as it comes. That is then the mind recedes and remains quiet. So, in all these exercises, if the mind can remain quiet, then that is beneficial. Otherwise, a ego of I can always arise. I am doing. So, if you take care of this thing, then that will be beneficial.
Well, also she asked if there's any hope for humanity. Could you comment on that? There's so much kind of
We don't lose hope. We don't lose hope for humanity. Whether anybody listens to me or not, I will keep talking about the truth. Whether anybody will learn the meditation or not, I will always try to keep teaching the meditation. Whoever comes, I will try to teach them and would like to inspire them to teach many more like that. You all take up teaching the meditation that I teach you all. If you have time, try to influence your friends also. Try to gather groups and try to do that one. So let us work together like this. Then we do have a hope for this world. Definitely. If you all can help me to spread the message of meditation, all of you, then we do have a hope.
Baba, I have a question about approaching meditation. Sometimes I'm aware that I feel like I sit down and I'm I'm the individual self sitting to meditate, and I'm trying to focus, I'm trying to watch. And then, you say that we're the space, we're infinite. And when you started off the meditation today, you said something like the mind is universal, be kind to yourself, or something like that. Is there a different approach that I shouldn't sit down as this individual I that's trying to watch? Can you share about that?
Yeah. So if you can understand this, you are actually the space that is all pervaded. You are not a single pointed something that which is in the body as a dweller. The same space is within the body also, and that is that is how you are universal. So this is revealed if you simply become quiet in the mind. That's what you have to practice. Slowly, like that, if you give up maintaining the I thought also, that will be more helpful to quickly resolve the problem of individuality.
Okay.
Pranam Maharaj, Pranam. My question is regarding a human mind thought process. As you said, lady, that if you don't have a concept of good or bad, there is no good or bad in your mind. But there are people in this world who do bad thing as per their thought process, and they think they are doing good. Like there are psycho killers and there are dictators, so and so forth. How about them, sir? I mean, will they be registered? Will their bad actions going to be registered as a bad thing, or there is no action? This is my first question.
See, somewhere their mind will absorb the guilt feeling, I am doing
Yes.
this one.
Okay.
Simply, if they imagine this is a good thing, it will not
Yes.
become a good. Like that, they will be absorbing karmas
Okay.
with the
Okay.
doership. That's what
Yes.
will
Yes.
happen.
Okay. Maharaj, there is second thing. As you said that in the last moment or last feeling of self-realization or the become everything, there is, I don't know, if you have seen the movie called Lucy. So in the last scene, that character Lucy became 100% potency. She became, her brain got 100% potency, and she became everything. Like in the mobile, a character being asked where is she, and there is, she got a message that she became everything, like the space, air, water, so and so forth. So from yogi perspective, I'm sorry to say that if yogi don't have a body, so that yogi can become, will be become everything in this universe.
You see, when a person becomes yogi or when wants to become a yogi, the thing is, the target is to merge with the self and remain in Mahasamadhi.
Okay.
So this movie, what you are talking, is the imagination of the directors and producers. I
Yes.
am this also, I am that also, I am that also. You are getting involved with all the matter of the world, and you are again going back to the world with
Yes.
so
Yes.
many things. See, their imagination, generally human imagination, is they want power. For
Yes.
that reason, they want to be everything. I can do this also, I can do that also, I can imagination. So that is not a yogic kriya, that is not becoming a yogi. Becoming a
But
yogi is you reach the ultimate truth, become one with the divinity.
okay. But Maharaj, as a becoming a yogi, Mahasamadhi is also same thing, no? Because in the Mahasamadhi, uh,
No,
you are in
it
the
is it is not the same thing because every matter, everything else disappears.
okay.
Only the self remains there.
And
All the
okay.
appearance is only an imagined thing. The matter
So,
is only an imagined thing. Though Vedas also talk, this
mm,
universe also is the form of the divine. Just
mm,
like whatever you have in your mind is
mm,
also the form of your mind. Your mind is
okay.
the raw material for all of those things. But all those things are giving you different thoughts and troubling you, stressful, making you stressful. It is not giving you peace. It will make you peace only when you merge with the real self, that which is beyond all existence.
So, Maharaj, like we in the end of the in end of our stage or in our process or sadhana, we became shunya. We are nothing. We become zero.
Shunya and nothing, these both are also imaginary terminologies. You must
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
Zero is absolute, absolute is zero. That is the beauty of the thing, existence. So you
Maharaj,
cross beyond these dualities.
yes, Maharaj. Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. I will do more sadhana. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hi, Babaji. Um,
Ah,
have you published a video that instructs us how to teach your technique, or would you recommend connecting with the Jangama.org organization that does teach your meditation to others? What's the right way to learn how to teach others your technique?
So this is the technique every time I am teaching when I make you all to sit for meditation. So it is the same technique. If anybody wants to learn, if you want to teach, you can teach them also.
Do you have a video like on YouTube or your website where
Uh,
you are delivering the instruction?
so in our website, srby.org, the video is there that I have spoken and instructed for
Thank you,
meditation.
Lord.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Hi, Baba. My brain is being rewired. Are there angels? What are angels?
You see, you don't have to bother about angels. They are there. But if you get involved with them, you will lose the divine. So divine is much more important. He is the top commander. He is the ultimate truth is divine. So just meditate so that you merge with the divine. Let angels also have insecurity, power monging, stress, trouble, everything. So that is not good. Bother about divine, divinity. Got it?
Yes.
Uh,
Baba,
you have
I think we've completed the questions. You can take a break.
okay. So that was wonderful. I'll just have a gallery look to say bye bye to all of you.